Hello, everybody. Jeff Lohse with the Structural Building Components Association, SBCA, with another weekly update. I'm going to make it kind of singular focused this week, talking about framer safety. And there's a few different reasons why I want to do this, but I kind of want to start with a story of a Facebook post that I saw last night. And this scrolling through, like probably a lot of people do before they go to bed or, while they're watching TV, came across a framer who said that he had fallen 18 feet the day before. Said he was banged up, some scratches, some bruises. Honestly, he was pretty well off considering, that's a high place to fall from. But also, just reinforces the, kind of the inherent risks that come with that profession. And what he did is he posted some photos on Facebook. There's a variety of different framer groups on Facebook, and I belong to a couple of them. It's a great way to get some insights and understand kind of that mentality and what they're going through and what, we might be able to do to help them through our National Framers Council or SBCA. But really what caused me to notice is he included photos. He must have went up the day after and took photos from where he'd fallen from. And he had a nice soft pile of dirt to land in, which, not everybody does. But beyond that, he was setting floor trusses. Obviously, I noticed them anytime I see a picture of trusses. I'm curious. I like seeing trusses and things that go well. And one of the things that he was doing as he was taking his photos is he had one foot on the top plate, and then a floor truss here, and he had his other foot on the top of the bottom cord of one of the trusses that was in place. Now, could not tell if it was nailed in place, how it was secured, any of those things, but it's one of those to where trusses are really good at what they're designed to do. And that foot support, obviously half of his body weight, let's assume that, is being supported by that top of that bottom cord. Now, I've seen instances, our legal counsel's seen instances where trusses can break, and we understand that people are going to use them in ways that they're not intended. And that's one of the things that the association's really been working on here these last several months, probably since about a year ago, probably last December-ish, November. And what we've called it and what we're trying to do is change behavior of those in the field, to give them a little bit of pause, not to step here, not to lay the trusses down and walk across them while they're on top of the walls, not to do, there's certain things that they're just not intended to do. It's improper use, that kind of stuff. So where there are risks, there is inherent dangers. There's things that can happen with the components if they're not used and not in a braced environment of what they're intended to be or anticipated to be at the time of design. So what we've done is we've created a concept called the component warning notice. And it's really a three-pronged approach. And we talked about it at BCMC. We've talked about it at every OQM this year. So for those that are involved, this is probably, okay, now we're taking the next step. Those that might not have been to any of the meetings or seen any of it, we are now communicating it, saying that it is available. And really what we're trying to do is allow people to participate. We've got warning tags, we've got a warning sheet, and we've got a website. And on the tags and on the sheet, we have a QR code. So if they're in the field, they have their phone, they can snap it, they can learn the long form on the website. The sheet is meant to be included in job site packages. So if you do your own, you can buy them loose, or we're going to start including them in job site packages going forward. So if you just buy the normal package, you should see it there. But then also the tag. And the tag is probably, one of those we went back and forth on. How often do you include it? Is it multiple per truss? Is it one per truss? Is it one per every 6 trusses? We landed on one tag per truss. And we based it off of kind of our other tags as far as size, similar type thing. Here's a very early iteration of it. I'll have some other ones that I'll show in future episodes of what we're actually have available for sale now. But it's really what we're trying to do is we're trying to give the people that come in contact with the actual product, the component, whether it's the roof truss, floor truss, and there'll probably be some applicability to wall panels as well, but give them a second of pause to think, okay, if I do something that's not intended, it could have ramifications. And it's the nature of any kind of a warning tag or notice that you see, or caution or danger, and we've really molded it after the ANSI process. That ANSI has a standard for what colors to use, how to communicate it, how to use the pictograms, what is important. So we've gone through all those methods to really fully understand it. So you should be seeing us talk about the component warning notice in future, magazine articles, industry news. We're sending a mailer out to every component manufacturer location to kind of introduce the concept. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. But it's one of those that we're trying to make the industry a little bit safer, to allow framers or whoever's installing the trusses to understand that if they do something they're not supposed to do with that product, bad things can happen. And to where, we prevent anybody from falling, even if they are from 18 feet and they just get a little scuffed up or a little banged up and a little bruised. Because on the other hand, there's others that, they can lose their lives. They can be paraplegic. They can have a lot of downside risk to things that they might not have intended. And, back to that framer that I started with, I don't know what caused his fall. I don't think it was the truss. Trusses all look to be intact and everything, but things do happen. Accidents do happen. But this is a way to communicate that, okay, our products, if not used properly, can be impacting, the people that are using them. So with that, kind of a somber note, but it is one of those that we want to communicate it. We want to get it across. We want people to be safe installing components, because really it is the best way to frame. It is the best way to erect wood construction. We want to make sure that those that are doing it arrive on the job site safely and then leave that day after they've installed it. We've got all kinds of resources through the National Framer Council, our Frame Safe, SBCA, and this is just another iteration in that, as we try to make the construction industry a little bit safer and a little bit better awareness around what can and may happen in certain circumstances. So with that, I'll leave you. I'll promise to be more upbeat next week, but this has been a very important project that we've been working on. This is one that, we want component manufacturers to engage with. We want you to understand it. If you have questions, again, we can reach out. If there's too many questions, we'll probably do so in a webinar format with our legal counsel and really explain what the iterations that we went through and making sure that we're trying to represent all of the component manufacturers best we can to make sure that people, again, are utilizing safe practices when engaging with the components. So till next week, peaks up, press on. We'll talk to you a little bit later. Go out, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.